every day, you go into the gap, and the gap is like it's like when you trying to reach something externally, or you always reaching for happiness, or you trying to something outside to make you happy. But with the game, you appreciate where you came from, like, and that's internal. Like, yeah, this is where I came from. Like, even today, it could be a situation where, like, us having this conversation, my game, what I'm taking for today is my game is speaking to you and able to talk about, my kids, and, where I started from and where I'm at now, how I'm happy I am. So those are my gains. So the books basically speaks about stay out the gap, like stop thinking about your ideal self, and like measure your success backwards, not forward.
I love you, Daddy.
This is For Fathers, a podcast for fathers to uplift and encourage each other with the understanding we are the forefathers of the next generation. This is episode 98. Today, I got my boy Trey Drake, man, and I'm eloQuint. Tell everybody what's up.
What's up, everybody? How everybody doing? Appreciate you having me, Q.
Man, it's a blessing. I love just any type of father that I come across. I'm gonna ask, hey, you want to come on the podcast?
That's for sure. Like I said, that was probably one of the second conversations that we had. You like, you want to hop on this podcast, and look where we at now. So we definitely made it happen. So I'm ready to get started. So yeah, looking forward to the conversation.
You already know. And, we met each other on the basketball court, just in case
Yes,
anybody
sir.
thinks we ain't got it no more.
Yeah,
We still
yeah,
got
yeah.
it.
Yeah, for sure. Got a little bit left in the tank, man. So yeah, that's what we definitely met at. And the basketball community is super small, and everybody know everybody, and great people you meet, you network, and you meet great people, through the basketball court all over. So you never know who you're gonna run into and who know who. So that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really like a fraternity, if you will.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
because like you said, it's just a small community. If you're just from the
yeah,
same era, even if you
yeah,
just moved in, you probably hoop with
hmm,
somebody no
yeah,
matter the age difference, even though if it's like, I
yeah.
guess within like 10 years, I would say probably that we probably know just about everybody the same. Hoop with them at
No, for
least,
sure,
seen their
for
face.
sure, for sure, for sure. I definitely agree with you 100%. So. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, that is like you said. It's a fraternity, and everybody knows everybody, or somebody knows somebody that you do know or you play with. So yeah, I mean, it's a great fraternity, a great place to be in.
Oh man, I love the game. And I guess
Yes,
that's
sir.
what I'm kind of doing with fatherhood. I guess
Yeah.
that's how big I wanted to be in the sense of creating a fatherhood attorney, um, a fraternity because
Hmm.
we need each other.
Yeah.
Like,
No, for sure. I agree with you 100%. It's good to get, somebody else's perspective, or another person's situation, and, carry it to your situation, and, expand on yours. So that's, no, you're right about that. We definitely need each other, and to uplift and empower. And then, when we down, somebody to pick us up, when we need that time. So, no, fatherhood is, it's a big step, and it's a big part of our lives, and we all love it. So it's good to talk about and expand on it, and tell each other what works for us in that type of situation.
yeah, man. I think we said off air, man. This is the best thing we ever done.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, no championship, no
Hmm.
basketball game, no game winner.
Hmm.
Is better than just watching your kid grow up, or even
Yes.
imparting into them.
Yes, that's very true. I take my daughter to school every morning, and I usually pick her up, and just had on the way home today, just spending that time with her and having that conversation, between me and her. And today was I open up to her emotionally, just explaining to her how much I love her, and the gift, being blessed by having her, and how amazing she is. So it was hard for me to do. It's hard at times to show your emotions, But I feel like, that's something that I would want it, when I was a child, and for her to understand, how much I, care about her, and I'm always gonna be there for her. So it was definitely we had one of those moments that they're on the way home from school.
Oh, that's some of the best moments. So
Yeah.
I guess what made you start having or start opening up emotionally? Like, was there a certain? I know you just mentioned that you wish you had that as a kid, but was it
hmm
something else in your adulthood or even in your parenthood experience that it made you start opening up?
No, for sure. I know for me, growing up, I came from a single, single family household. Uh, and now that I'm, I'm married, and I have kids of my own, I want to make sure, I want to break that cycle. I want to be there for my kids. I want to, every day they wake up in the morning time, I want to be there, for them, and they want to, run in the room and tell me good morning. I'm always there for them. So I always, keep that in the back of my mind, that that's what I want to do for them, and make sure that they have a better experience that I had, when I was growing up. So uh, that's kind of worked for me. And just today, I had some PD at work, and we were speaking about, a couple teachers, spoke about like how genuine stuff is and how much love that they felt, and it kind of resonated with me on the way home today. I'm like, today I'm gonna tell my daughter, like, how much I, care about her, and uh, to make sure that she feels, the love coming from me. So I wanted to do that for her today.
That's awesome. I think that's very
Yes,
important for us as fathers, especially with daughters. Man,
yes,
like we have to be their
yes,
first love. Like we have to
yes,
show them. We have to set the bar.
yes.
Set the standard, if you will.
hmm
And I've heard one time somebody said the standard is actually the floor, not the
Yeah.
ceiling. So if the standard is the floor, that means if you ain't stepping right, hey, you you can't come around here.
Yeah, yeah. So that means we gotta push it up a little bit more. If we only at the floor, we trying to get to the ceiling, we gotta,
hmm
push it a little bit more, past that, So yeah, and like you said, I'm a father of two girls, so girl dad, house full of, women. So it's good to, be on your show with another man. 'Cause I'm used to always being around him. So even I was telling him, I'm saying, yeah, I'm doing a podcast tonight. Who with who? I'm like, y'all don't asking too many questions.
So you
But
got to tell
no.
me how that is, man, because I'm about to get married in December.
Yes, okay.
I got 3 girls.
Yeah.
My fiance got a girl, and of course, she's a woman. So what does that look like? I
Oh
don't know if
my
I'm ready for the
God,
emotions,
man.
bro.
Hey, it's cute. It's a lot. I be needing time. Like I need I need some time that I'm around men or whatever. And you know, because they're gonna all look for you for guidance, because you're gonna be the man of the house, and they, they protect. I mean, they expect for you to, provide, and also to lead them, through stuff. So they're always gonna be looking at you to, do stuff, and you got to kind of make decisions. So it'll definitely keep you on your toes, and but also they're gonna take care of you too. When you're around women, your daughters, they're gonna make sure that you're fine. They can tell when you're having a bad day, or they're gonna check on you. Like my 3-year-old, she always asks me, "Daddy, are you okay?" Or "Dad, are you mad at me?" Like, no, I'm not mad at you. I might be mad at something you done, but I'm not mad at you. And my oldest daughter, she'll be 10 next month. The same way, always
Woo.
checking in. And yes, I know 10. I know she'll be in middle school next year. Like I ain't prepared for that at all. Like uh so, but no, like they gonna definitely take care of you. But at the end of the day, it's still women. They're gonna have their emotions. They're gonna have their little attitudes, and so you just gotta just kind of roll with it, and you just keep them happy, man. Most of the time if you feed them, they're good. You feed them, they might be good. If they got a little attitude, you might get some food. Everybody want to eat, so that might, that definitely that definitely would quiet them up a little bit or whatever. But no, I mean it's definitely a great experience, and just love on them, man, as much as possible. Like love on them, girls. Make sure you show them the right way. So when they of age, and they know what to expect from the gentleman. But I don't want to even think about that. But still, you want to make sure that they
Right.
understand that. Yeah.
So other than emotions, is
hmm
there anything else that you had to adjust with, with being in a house with all women, or just being a leader, being a father in general?
hmm
Other than emotions, is there anything else that you had to adjust to, or gain or grow into?
Uh, Yeah, I guess. I mean, just going back, always adjustment when you first start living with somebody. You got to make sure that you guys are compatible with staying with each other. It could be as small as little stuff as leaving the toilet seat up, or people don't understand, like, you do that every day, and what you used to and what somebody else used to is not the same. So you just got to be very cautious about that. Um, just listening, make sure you're listening to everybody, just adjusting with just staying with people. Then, when you got kids, you have no more space, man. Like, if you got it, it's no more time by yourself. Like, it's always when you wake
Mhm.
up, you open up one eye, you got two eyes looking at you, waiting for you, maybe four eyes waiting for you. Like, what we doing today? Or like, what's go? Good morning, daddy. So you have that type of energy. So no, other than that, I think everything else is natural, just falls into place. Like, you just learn as you go, and not everybody's situation is different, but you just learn as you go, and you just kind of adjust, and you learn, and it's not bad. It's not a bad situation to be in. Just make the best of it, but you learn as you go daily. It's something new every day, but just that's how you talk to them. Make sure you not too aggressive, and you caring, and you understanding is the main thing. But no, it's I mean I think everything else falls in place though. But good luck to you soon, and I will speak after in a few months or 6 months to see how you feel, and we can have this conversation again.
I'm
For
ready though.
sure.
I'm ready. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's a challenge, and I think it's gonna be fun. It's
Hmm.
gonna obviously have its days and stuff like that,
Yeah,
but
for sure,
the
for sure.
basketball had its days, so
Hmm.
I'm prepared for it. But you
Hmm.
just spoke on speaking to him, not speaking too harshly. I was at the skating
Hmm.
rink this past Saturday, and my youngest was fussing and crying. She kept
Yeah,
falling.
yeah.
I'm like, girl, get up, man. You good? Just keep going. Just keep practicing. And so she got mad at me and went to my fiance. It was like, Daddy yelled at me.
Yeah, I'm
So she
telling
had
you,
talked to me for like a smooth
yeah,
10
I
minutes.
tell you that hurt. That 10 minutes was rough, wasn't it?
Rough. I'm skating by like, come on, baby. She's never looking at me. I'm like, dang, girl. Like, I thought we had a
Yeah.
tighter connection than that.
Yes, yes. It's just something about the face that they make when they frown, when they feel bad, or they try to make you feel. Oh my God, it's the worst. Like,
That's the
oh
worst.
my God, my wife, she be calling me a sucker. Like, you're a sucker all the time. Like, you're a sucker. Like, I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, if they give me that look, like, especially if I'm leaving the house or whatever, and I'm about to walk out the door, and my daughter, she do this look where she look down and look like, and then look up at me. I'm like, man, put your stuff on. Let's go. Put your shoes on, man. Get your stuff. Get your stuff. Get your stuff. Let's go. Then she got to pack up all her toys and doll
Right,
babies.
right.
Yeah. Then I gotta be Ken, and she bought. Yeah,
Man,
man.
it's something
So
about them daughters, man. Neither one of us
yeah,
has sons, so I know we don't really
yeah.
know, but it's
Yeah,
something
no,
about them
yeah.
girls. It's
Mhm.
something about them, man.
They
They
hit
they
different,
be
man.
pulling on your heartstring, man. I
Yeah.
can't. I tell them no, and I'll
True,
be
it hit different.
strong. But in a couple of days later, she might ask me
Yeah,
again. I tell her
yeah,
no again, but in a couple of days after that, I'm
yeah.
like, man, come on, just do it, man. Just
Mm,
whatever.
yeah,
And that
it
ain't right.
definitely. Yeah, it definitely softened you up. Like, I remember like how it was before I had my daughter. Like, when I had my daughter, it was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe. Like, it just makes you more like vulnerable, or like your emotions come out a little
Mhm.
bit more. You gotta be like, take, it's different, man. It's different, and it just everything is, yes. Like, for with especially your first girl or whatever, and you just want to be
Mhm.
gentle with them and make sure that that you're very careful, and I mean, it's a definitely a difference. Like, I can only speak for that. Like, I know a lot of people, you want any boys? Like, no, I'm good. Like, I mean, at first, before I started or whatever, I was like, yeah, I want to have a son, follow my
Mhm.
footsteps, or want to do this and do that. Then I had my first, I had my daughter, my girl or whatever, and it's just like, oh my God, like, I was good. I didn't need a boy. Like, I was like, I'm fine. Like, I'm good with just having,
Mhm.
a daughter that's gonna look up to me, and she kind of cling to me, like, she's up under me more than anything, and to this, like, now, still she's up under me as well. And then I had another girl. So and their names are Jordan and Journey. So yeah, like it's just a great feeling to have them. Like I enjoy it. Like I like being around them. We laugh and we joke. They're very funny. So it's a like I said, I wouldn't change that for anything. Like I'm good with not having a boy. So how you feel about that?
I was
Do
about
you
to
want
say
a
that's
boy?
so interesting, man. I really do want a boy because,
Okay.
like you said, legacy. Even the
Yeah.
carrying the last name, and
Mhm.
also just having that experience of coaching them and playing basketball, which you can
No,
have with
for sure.
girls, but
Mhm.
it just seems like it's more prominent with boys and more
Mhm.
likely. But but that daddy daughter love, it's it's unspeakable, right? There's
Yeah.
nothing that touches it. Like you said, when they just want to be under you, when they just want to
Mhm.
be with you, when they just want to come up randomly and hug you and
Yeah.
tell you that they love you and kiss on
Yeah.
you, and when they just always there and they always want
Yeah.
more of you.
Mhm.
Even when you're tired, they want more of
Yes.
you. They don't care.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I would I be mad if I never had a boy? I definitely would want one, but like, bro, like
Mhm.
there's nothing that can top that
Yeah.
that daughter love.
It's nothing
And I'm gonna
compared
try
to it.
for one more. So I'm gonna
Okay.
try for one more. If it's a
Well,
girl,
good luck. Good
hey, it is
luck.
what it is. But I do want a boy. So I will say
Good luck.
that I would really, really want a boy. But man, if I had another girl, I just know this is gonna be another little ball of energy, all that. It just
For
a
sure. For
love bug.
sure.
I just man,
Yeah.
I do love having daughters, man. So I have to concur with you on that, bro. Like
Yeah.
it is
It's
something
yeah. No.
serious.
It
It
is.
is
It is.
something
It
serious.
is. It is. So like I said, it's great, man. It's a great experience, and it's something that you really can't put into words. But girl dads definitely understand and could connect on that level when it comes to that.
Mhm. Oh yeah. And even what you talk about, it makes you vulnerable. You talk about
Yeah.
you spoke on that earlier. For a long time, I felt like I was closed off to my emotions.
Mhm.
As a man growing up, I felt, shrug it off, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first time, not the first time, but when I consistently cry, and not necessarily out of sadness, but like out of happiness or just out of joy, or just
Mhm.
out of anything, is when I had a
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah.
I was like,
And
dang, no, I can't even cry this much. Like, I just swear, just
yes.
anything, just
Yes.
the cutest thing, or just the
Yes.
love, just the, whatever, or the turmoil that might have
Yes.
happened, that's just crying over them. Just it's like,
Yes.
wow,
No,
like,
it bring it cute. It bring. It's funny you said it brings it out. I'm listening to. I remember J. Cole. I listened to one of his songs, and he was talking about after he had kids and having daughters, he got more emotional, and it
mm-hmm.
resonated with me. Like definitely, like yes, I don't mind crying. I I
It
don't
don't
mind
matter
it.
no
It is what
more.
it is. It don't really matter. Like and yeah, and I was the same way. Q just closed off and always was told men are told to be closed off and not really show emotions
hmm
so but just I mean just thinking back to when I played when I was in college I played or whatever I did play with a lot of emotions and I like sometimes I did express how I was feeling or I was vulnerable I cried but it was kind of like I wasn't comfortable doing it. It just kind of brung it out me
Yeah,
because of that's how much, work I
love the
had put
game.
in, love the
Yep.
game and passion for it. And, that's what came out, but, like now with my daughters, yeah, like I go to the movies, like we went to see, Inside Out too. I was in there crying. I
Bro,
don't know if they knew, I don't know if they knew or not, but yeah, I wiped my tears real fast. There was a couple parts in there where like touch me, and I'm just putting myself in that position, like having a teenage daughter, and like so I'm like, wow,
hmm
that movie was really good. So yeah,
bro,
I
that's a
think I said it.
really good
Yeah,
movie. I
yeah, yeah, yeah,
definitely
yeah,
watered up. I definitely didn't
yeah,
let
yeah, yeah,
nobody
yeah.
see it
No,
though, but
for
I
sure.
watered
For
up. I ain't gonna lie
same
to
here.
you.
It was dark in the movie theater, Q, so you was good. Yeah, I got mine out real quick and kept it moving, So
Man,
for
especially
sure,
like I
but
know for me and that anxiety, man, when that anxiety kept going around in
yeah,
circles and circles, man, you feel so stuck.
yeah,
I felt that like on a
yeah.
personal level. Like it's just
Okay.
like wow. Like,
Is that something that you dealt with?
oh yeah, bro. What anxiety with basketball to be the best, and it
Yeah,
created anxiety instead of it drove me, and I always worked hard. But when it's time for the game, it created so
yeah,
much angst in me, bro. Like 'cause I just wanted to
yeah,
be great. I try to force it, try to put a
yeah.
square inside of a circle. Like
No, for
I just try
sure.
to force everything instead of just
Yeah,
letting it come to me, letting it flow.
Yeah.
because I was just so anxious, and the anxiety was to be like she said, to be the best, and that's what it
Yeah.
was. It wasn't like I didn't think I was good enough. I just wanted to be the best, and I put
Yeah.
so much into being the best that it just that spoke to me personally, bro. Because that's
Yeah.
exactly what she did. She wanted to be the best, so
Yeah.
she was just like, bro. That's
Yeah.
exactly how it was, bro.
Put a lot of pressure on yourself when
I
when
put a
you
lot of
dealing
over
with stuff.
too much pressure, bro.
Yeah.
Too much
Yeah.
pressure. So I felt that, man, on I was like, man, that looked like me right
Yeah.
there.
And it's crazy. I'm actually reading this book now called The Gap in the Gain, and it speaks about comparing yourself to your ideal self and not comparing yourself to where you came from. And the gap
Mm,
is like in between where you are now and where you're trying to get to, and then the gain is where you started from. So like for
whew.
example, like every day, you go into the gap, and the gap is like it's like when you trying to reach something externally, or you always reaching for happiness, or you trying to something outside to make you happy. But with the game, you appreciate where you came from, like, and that's internal. Like, yeah, this is where I came from. Like, even today, it could be a situation where like us having this conversation. My game, what I'm taking for today is my game is speaking to you and able to talk about, my kids and where I started from and where I'm at now, how I'm happy I am. So those are my gains. So the books basically speaks about stay out the gap, like stop thinking about your ideal self and like measure your success backwards, not forward, not reaching for something that you always reaching for. Like that's the gap. And it becomes frustrating when you're not where you want to be. Like, well, in 5 years I want to be here, or I'm not where I want to be at, and I'm, some should have happened. That's all gap thoughts. Like the game is like, yeah, I'm in a good space. I'm feeling good today. I'm moving forward in life. I had a great day at work today. I spoke to my daughters today. My daughters gave me hugs. Those are all gains, and we gotta appreciate that much more and live in a moment. So the book very it resonates to me. I read maybe like a few pages a day just to give me some uplift, and it tells me in the book like share this with 5 people. Q, you one of the people I shared it with today. So
Hey, I might have
so
to
it's
get
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's called A Gap in the Game, but it's very good. Like just taking your gains and appreciating living in the moment. Like don't think about ahead. Like live in the moment where we are right now and appreciate it. So I just want to share that
Wow.
with you. Yeah.
Bruh, I needed that. That was beautiful. I'm so glad you shared that with me,
Yes, sir.
man. Because
Yes,
I'm
sir.
that. Because with the anxiety, that's still
That's the
something I
same. That
battle
made me
with.
think
But
about
like,
it. Yeah.
I want to be there. I know that
hmm
I'm called to preach. I know that
Yeah.
I have a calling to speak to men and all this
hmm
kind of stuff. I gotta be there. I gotta know all this
Yeah.
stuff already right now.
Yeah.
But instead of showing like, dang, I came from a long way. I was
Yeah.
out
Where
there
you
in the
started
streets
at. Yeah.
tripping.
Yeah, where you started, like where you
Dang,
started
bro.
at, man. Like, and even and you want to have all the knowledge, and just think about the knowledge that you got now that you didn't have probably a year ago or 2 years ago.
Mhm.
So just be appreciative of that, man, and give yourself credit. Like, and that's the thing. It's hard for me to like take credit for a lot of stuff. I remember having a conversation with my friends and I'm like, I don't know, it feels funny that it's happening for me. It feels surreal, like it shouldn't happen for me. And I remember my
Mhm.
homeboy telling me like, yeah, you deserve it. Like it's supposed to happen for you. Like don't think like that. Like it's supposed to happen for you. So make sure that you appreciate it and live like embrace it. Like this is supposed to happen for you. So, well, just just make sure you got good people in your circle and somebody that can motivate you and speak positively into you. Like all the time, and you need that, man. Even if if it's not a lot, like hearing somebody say that is always a plus. And our conversation, we have what? We probably known each other for 3 weeks, and
Right.
we at this point now having this type of conversation. And everything,
Mhm.
and for me, everything happened for a reason. Like I felt the energy. I can tell. Like I'm like he's a good guy. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna do the podcast after thinking on it. Like I'm like why not? Like just pass some gems on and speak on a podcast and open up or whatever. I was nervous about the whole and like I said, this is the first one. I never did one before and I don't know how it's gonna go, but I mean I think it's a great conversation and I appreciate you having me on.
Of course, bro. Of
Yeah.
course. So, was the reason that you picked the book up because you've been focusing on the gap so much? Did somebody give it to you? Like, what made you pick that book up?
That's
Because that's
that's a
interesting.
great question. So I am I'm a administrator, so I'm a administrator at my school and we had like leadership training and we had a speaker. It was like a we was having training, and they was speaking, and they asked us a question, and whoever answered the question, they gave them a book or whatever. And of course, not taking stuff serious, like, man, they giving us a book, this is nothing or whatever. So not knowing that, this is something that I needed, and I just took it to my office, and it just, sat on my desk for a little bit, and I was like, I've been speaking about having some hobbies. Like, I feel like all I do is play basketball and work out. Like, I've been doing that for years. Like, I'm older now. Like, I was like, I need some hobbies. Like, let me figure something else. Like, I need to figure something else. I said, well, okay, let me just, open this book up, and like, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna start. So I just started with the intro, whatever. Background in psychology. So
Oh,
my
okay.
bachelor's in psychology. So the guy that's the that wrote the book, or one of the guys that kind of set the book up, or started the book or whatever, he's a psychologist. So I'm like, okay. I just started reading, and like the first couple pages, the intro, like, okay, like resonated to me, and I'm like, okay, and it just got me to reading. I'm like, wow, and then it just kind of drew me in from like my psychology background, and me being interested in like how certain stuff happen with people, and why we do certain things and behaviors and stuff. So that's how I started the book. But yeah, it was a gift. I mean, it was like I said, I answered a question at a leadership at a conference that we had together, and I got the book, and I just started reading it there. I don't really think that I struggle or I deal with the gap much, but I think I do sometimes, because
Hmm.
just, I mean, everybody do, and I don't think, for me, I want to be in the gap less. Like today, I read a few pages, and it spoke about like being in a gap for like 5 minutes, and then get yourself out. Like, get your negative thoughts out for 5 minutes, and then get back into like to the game, and make sure, like, and that's what I'm gonna try to do. Like, if I, somebody, I have a negative thought about something, or something not going my way, get back into the game. Like, okay, well, I'm back in the game now. Like, I want to get back into a positive, you know, train of thought, So that's the biggest thing for me. But yeah, that's how I got the book. I'm sorry, Q. I went on a little rampage, I
Nah,
guess.
bro, I'm here for you. This is the podcast for you, man. Shoot, I
Yeah,
love it.
so
Somebody else might need it. Like you said, it's all about
yeah,
dropping gems. But man, background in psychology, bro. Like,
yeah,
so are
yeah,
you at the school for doing that? Are you say administrative? Like, is that what you
yeah.
do? Something
So
to do with psychology?
so I got my bachelor's in psychology, but I got my master's in special ed. But I'm a dean of students, so I deal with discipline and
Mm,
behavior. So with that, like, my background resonate with, I've been in mental health since 2010. I've been in mental health. So I've been dealing with behaviors for so long, and I kind of understand them a lot, and like how people act, how kids act, and why they do certain things. I just been learning through the years, man. It's been it's been 14 years where I've been dealing with, at risk teens, or kids with discipline, and all of it is a cry for help, most of the time, and where they coming from. And I think that's kind of like my calling is, like, helping kids out, or like understanding kids that, like, like, I won't say you, but most people that don't want to be around. I like being around kids like that, because I want to understand, like, why are you acting like that, or uh what's going on, because it could have been me. It could have been my,
hmm
situation, coming from a single parent home, and you know the upbringing, wasn't the best. But it's being able to help these kids that need that, that shoulder to lean on, or some type of advice, or somebody to speak to, even somebody to listen to them most of the time, and
hmm
talk to them, like, like they understand. I know I heard, because I mean, I pick up on everything. I'm very observant, and I listen to you. I heard you said that you was a one-on-one. I heard you was telling somebody else you was a one-on-one. So I listened. I heard that, that my antennas went up. Be like, okay, like, well, you get it, because if you was a one-on-one, then you definitely get that type of, program or system to deal with, with these type of kids. So yeah, I mean, that's how, like I said, discipline and behaviors is what I've been dealing with for so long, and I definitely enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I think being in one-on-one, I was in a all in like an inclusive classroom. Like, it was in
Yeah,
the one we couldn't leave, and it was special ed and stuff like that. Man, that was
I
one of the
taught
greatest
that.
experiences I've ever had.
Q,
I,
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was a self-contained teacher in Virginia, so
okay.
So I did the same. Like I was a teacher of one of those classes, and we stayed in the classroom all day. And I would never thought in a million years I would be in that classroom. I never
Bro,
thought that I
what?
would be. Yeah,
Changing diapers and all
yeah,
that. I never thought I'd be
yes,
doing that, but man,
yes.
that was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. Like,
One of
that
my
taught me
best
so much
jobs too.
patience, bro.
Hmm.
What? Oh, I still talk to the kids
Yes,
today. Like
yes.
it was such a beautiful experience, learning all that
Hmm.
kind of stuff and teaching me, man. I taught me so much stuff, especially in the
Yeah.
time that I needed to be taught. So that was awesome, man. But yeah, I just to backtrack a little bit before the
Okay.
thought slips, man. You was
Okay.
talking about how you work with behaviors in those kids, and I'm in the school system too. I'm a PE teacher
Got you.
at a middle school, and you hinted on what I wanted to speak about because those are the kids that a lot of teachers, man, be giving them a lot of like, hell, a lot of business,
Hmm.
there's a lot of pushback. Like, but do you
Yeah.
understand where they coming from? Like, do you understand the things that they may have to
Yeah.
go through before they even walk through these
Yeah.
doors? Like, you don't even try to understand those kids. You just deem them as horrible or as bad kids, and you write them
Yeah.
off, you kick them out of class. Like, but you're not even there for them. So I guess
Hmm.
you kind of hinted at it, but I want you to dive a little
We
bit
could speak
deeper.
about it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit deeper into that, because we both have to be in the schools and we see how a lot of other
Yeah.
teachers don't want to
Hmm.
mess with those kind of kids. But me, like you, I know that's not my background, but but being black, I'm
Endeavor.
like, yo,
Hmm.
I want to I want to speak to you and help you and, and,
Hmm.
and encourage you and love on you, because
Hmm.
you might not get that from nowhere else. So
Yeah.
let's dive a little bit deeper,
Yeah.
man, and just into maybe what you even
Yeah.
see in the school
I
system,
got
and
you.
for all that. So
Yeah, and it's cute. I think it was meant for us to have this conversation today because we actually had a PD, person development today. We had like a breakout session with our teachers, and today I was and you hint about that these teachers don't know where these kids coming from or what they've been through. And today we did a person development on building relationships. And that's the most important part of me. That's the most important thing that I think that teachers need to do in the school system, because I think that building relationships, discipline, and curriculum and a classroom goes together. Uh, those they go hand in hand. The reason why I say that because if you gotta disrupt the kids, no way they could get their education. Like if
mm,
there's nowhere in the classroom if you don't build a relationship with these kids, and a lot of teachers don't understand how to build a relationship with kids. They don't get it, and basically we just spoke about different ways of building relationships. Just being empathetic, putting yourself in those type of kids shoes. Like I want to make sure, like, if this kid is experiencing anxiety, or this kid is haven't ate today, like he haven't ate all day, this kid is being yelled at home, and then they come to school and you yelling just like the parent at home. How you think this kid is feeling? They dealing with double a double whammy where they getting yelled at two places. And these kids are very intelligent. They know what's going on. And basically, my biggest thing is learning these kids. Like, I'm the dean. The kids that come to my office, either, they are like
mhm.
frequent flyers. These are people that's always in trouble. And I sit there and I talk to them. I have conversations with them of, like, what's going on. And when they first get in my office, I don't start. Sometimes I just sit there and let them sit there. I have whole bunch of trophies in my office from when I played in high school and college. I just set them up, and they just first they most of them come in and just start looking around. They start looking at my trophies, and that's sparked most of the conversation. Oh, you play basketball? I'm like, yeah, I played, in high school. Wow, these are a lot of trophies, and so I'm like, yeah, something, I had to work for or whatever. And then I may ask, like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong? Like, why are you, having, this outlashing, this behavior in class, or what's like, talk to me, what's going on. And most of them, I have a better relationship with the kids than the teacher had do, and they're with them all day. I'm just with them for a split 20 seconds. I mean 20 minutes, and explaining to them, like, and I know the teachers see how the kids gravitate towards me. I'm the dean of students. Like, most of them, they know I can suspend them. They know I can call their parents. They should be scared of me, but they're not. And I want to explain to them, if they don't, they're not scared of me because of the relationship that I built with them. They're comfortable with me. They know that I'm somebody they can also come to. They also know that I'm somebody that I can, that will listen to them. when they need to be listened to. Like, so that's the biggest thing for me is building relationships. If you can't build a relationship, there's no way you can reach that kid. If you don't know what's going on, if you don't want to put no type of extra work in as a teacher, as an educator, then it's not going to work for you. If you're doing it for the paycheck, it's not going to work. Every profession that we, in the world goes through a teacher. The president had a teacher. Me and you had a teacher. The lawyers had a teacher. The judges had. Everybody goes through a teacher. The most, a profession that's is underappreciated, and we gotta understand that. Like I know how my teacher, my favorite teacher, made me feel. You never
Hmm.
forget how people make you feel. You may forget what they say, but you never forget how they make you feel. So a lot of core memories, back to Inside Out too. A lot of core memories resonates, into your adulthood. And this started as a child. The thing about your favorite color, when did you pick your favorite color? Probably when you was a kid. It don't change when you get adult. Those are
Hmm.
those are that's our things that stick with you from the beginning all the way to where you want to go to, man. So like I said, the biggest thing, with that is building relationships too, is understanding, these kids. And it's not hard. Like, just hold a conversation. Don't talk down at them, talk with them. Like, e- of course you're the adult, but still you need to talk at them. They're still humans. And once they realize that you listening to them and y'all two on the same level, the further you can go. If you steady talking down on them like you the superior, you better than them, it's never gonna work. It's never gonna work. So just be genuine about what you do too.
Man, that's awesome, man. I definitely feel you on all levels. I just have
Hmm.
a question. Do you find that those teachers that don't have kids of their own are the ones that the worst on the kids? Like, have
Ooh,
you have you
that's a
even
good.
noticed that? Because to me, and what I've noticed in my school, at time as a teacher, and different schools I've been in, it's like you act like that because you don't have any kids.
Yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
because if you had kids, you wouldn't talk to them that because you don't want nobody talking to your kid like that. Because if
Yeah.
they talk to your kid like that, you're gonna be up at the school.
It's
Like you're gonna be up at the school pulling
that's a
up
fact.
like
That's a
to the
fact. That's a
back
fact.
door.
I think it's both. Uh, the reason why I say it's both because I feel like sometimes the teachers that do have kids, they're a little bit too they don't know how to draw the line. Like they get too comfortable with these kids. Like, these are, they just they go too far. And then, what you do got some teachers that don't have any kids that don't show any compassion because they don't know what it's like, to have kids or like what's going on at home. So I think it's a double standard. Like, you can look at it both ways. I mean, I being in my position, I can kind of see both sides. And I deal with the teachers too. It's kind of like some of the teachers act like kids. So it's like
It's a
honestly, like,
fact.
so uh just understanding like it's both. It could be both, but like I said, I get your point too, and I see both sides. It depends on the teachers, but yeah, some of them don't have compassion for the kids because they don't have kids of their own, and then the ones that do have kids of their own, sometimes they can be too clingy or too comfortable or get too involved than where they need to be at. So if that makes sense,
No, no, that's real.
yeah,
Actually, I have to agree with that because I'm thinking back on some experience. Like, oh yeah, actually, yeah, or they did that, they did do
yeah,
that. And some
mm-hmm,
people start
yeah,
off being real nice and stuff and being overly nice, and then when
that
they
hurt
they
them,
start
that
using
hurt them,
abusing them, they try
that
they try
hurt
to
them,
change up
that
on them.
hurt them.
And now
It's
by
too
the end of the
late.
year, you throwing hints like nobody likes you type stuff. I never heard a teacher actually say
Yeah,
that to a kid, like talk down on them in such a derogatory way. And I was like, bro, did you really just say that to a kid? Like I was
yeah,
thrown. Some you hear in the movies like you're never gonna be nothing. Nobody actually likes you.
yeah.
It is being nice. I heard that. I said, "There's no way a teacher actually
Wow.
said that."
Yeah.
I was thrown because I would never say that to them. I don't care how like some of the quote unquote worst kids, they would do something so outrageous, but that
Exactly.
kid will come next day and just be loving on you, like,
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
like
Yeah. And
especially if you don't change up on them.
that's what that's what they don't, they expect you to change. When you don't change that, then, they really there for you. It's crazy. I went around the class, like we had the teachers in in the room, and I just went around the classroom, and I was able to name like each teacher I named a kid that they had issues with, and I'm like, yeah, I deal with all of y'all. You guys just think it's just one kid. I'm like, everybody have issue kids in their classroom. I know all you guys have, that one kid that takes you there, But like those kids that y'all deal with like that, and to your point, I love them too. Q is kind of like I have a kid, I had to, even had to put him in a restraint, like had to restrain,
Mm.
and but his parents was like, he love you, right? Like he loves you. He only listen to you, He listened to you. Like I'm calling for them to pick him up. They're like, no, we need you to. He listened to you. I'm like, oh, I need you to pick him up. But no, like, but those kids, they love, they love you, and they like. I remember him just leaving me nice notes and, I love you. But I'm like, he give me problems, like what's going on. So but no, those are the kids that comes back, years later. Like when I was working at my old high school, I was a therapy to day treatment counselor or whatever, TDT. So basically, like I will be in the school system, and like when they get put out of class, I would talk to them and get them back in class, speak to the teacher, do some skill building stuff with them. I mean, I have like parents reaching out to me like, "Oh my God, like thank you so much." And I wouldn't, my child wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, or or they even reach out to me like I wouldn't be here, Not I didn't save all of them, Q. Some of them, went wayside,
Mhm.
but you reach some of them, and just show them that you care. And us, as African American men, and and education is very few, of us, and for African American kids to see us in those type of positions, it's great for them. Like they need to see that. Like yeah, like it's it's able, you're able to do the same thing if if you put your
Mhm.
mind to it. And I mean it's I love being a great role model, a leader, and somebody they can talk to, and somebody that I would also advocate for them as as much as possible. I tell the teachers all the time, I'm on the kids side. I'm on their
Mm.
side. Like y'all,
Mhm.
I'm the administrator, but I'm on the kids side. Like I'm gonna listen to the kids, and I'm gonna always advocate for them first. Because not all the time they can speak up for themselves, or not all the time they may not understand. And I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. And if I could do something to help them out, and to help them move forward, I'm gonna do it every single time. So just something that that I learned in special ed, and working in self-contained is making sure that the kids are happy, make sure the parents are happy. Everything else will fall in place. You learn that, you go a long way.
Bruh. Especially that self-contained. You're gonna learn
Yep.
it there, boy.
Yes,
Because if
sir.
you didn't have no love and self-contained, man, they
Yep.
gonna run you out. They
Yes.
gonna run you
Yes.
out.
Yes.
Man, that's awesome, bro. So was there any like what made you get in psychology? Like was it your purpose to go into the schools? Like what
Well, solid.
drove you into to get into where you at now?
Well, kid, all us thought we was going to the league, man. So,
Oh, what? You better, bro. I
so
swear, bro.
everybody thought, I didn't think, So basically, what happened for me, it was I never, like I said, I never grew up wanting to be a teacher. I never grew up thinking that I was gonna be working with kids. I just happened to start like so when I was young. When I was young, my aunt had a daycare or whatever, and I used to go and volunteer with there. That was like kind of like my first job, so that was my first time around kids. And then I started working at the Boys and Girls Club, and then I'm like, okay, start working with the smaller kids. And then when I went to college, I started working at the YMCA, and I started doing sports camp with smaller kids. And I'm just like, I always, been, working with kids. How I got into psychology, actually, I took a dual enrollment class in Virginia. It's called dual enrollment. It's like a college class you can take in high school, then they'll
Hmm.
transfer over to your college. So I had those credits, you know. So I'm like, well, I'm looking at different majors. First, I thought I was like, okay, well, of course, I thought I was playing basketball. That was gonna be the next step, but I'm like, well, if I had to pick a major, I'm like, okay, well, I'll do business. I want y'all to own a business one day. Like, not really knowing, not,
Yeah,
not
yeah. Just throwing
educated
stuff
on,
out there.
just thinking
Uh-huh.
like I needed a business degree, a degree in business to own a business. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do business. And I did intro to business. And it was cool. I think I took the next business class. I said, oh no. I said, this ain't it. I said, oh no. I said, Q. I said, this ain't it, baby. I said, I got to switch it up. So I'm like, okay, let me see what else out there. So like still focused on basketball. I'm like, okay, well the next thing I was interested in was psychology. I'm like, I remember I took a class in high school, and I'm like, okay, um, I'm gonna take I'm gonna do this or whatever. So I started psychology, and it was actually like I didn't have to take intro because I had the high school credit. But like I said, once I started with psychology, it was easy. Like I'm okay, and it was fun. It started getting interesting. We started talking about different classes, and then I had one class called Sex, Marriage, and Family. I got like math, so we had like a couple psychology classes that we had to do some math in, and then like I was done with my psychology classes by my junior year of college. So I'm like, well, yeah, I like this is it is what it is. So like I said, I graduated with my degree in psychology, and then still focused on trying to get basketball. I ended up getting like a coaching job, and then the therapeutic day treatment job came open where like they're like, well, with your degree, you can work with mental health kids or whatever. So yes, I got into that. I kind of fell into it. It wasn't never a plan to do that, and then I start having like feeling like once I start getting like I started working and getting money, and I'm like, okay, well I kind of stopped focusing on basketball, and I kind of like, okay, I'm gonna start working, and I start getting money, and there was a good job for me. It was like my first, job. That was I was getting paid decent money. So that's how I got into mental health, and I did that for 4 years, and coaching and doing that or whatever. So and then I got in the classroom next after that.
Man, man, oh man, it's crazy
Yeah.
how we go from the league
Yes.
to trying to get into
Yes.
overseas, and now we
Yes.
teaching
Yes.
and
Yes.
coaching and really trying to help kids get to where we've
Hmm.
been and even further.
Yes,
And I think
sir.
that's why I enjoy teaching so much, because when I started coaching, I didn't think I was gonna like it. I started
Hmm.
at the recreation center, but I fell in love with it, man.
Hmm.
And I was like, I just want to help kids, grow and be the best through coaching. But when you do it through the school system, you can see them
Yeah.
more often every day,
Yeah.
see them do everyday situations and stuff like that. So it helps out. So
Hmm.
I really thoroughly enjoy being a teacher. I was telling my fiance, I said, I never thought I'd be at a job more than 5 years, but I don't see myself leaving teaching no time
Yeah.
soon.
That's really good. That's good. That sounds like a
Yeah,
great situation too. Yeah. And I never, like I said, for me, man, like I said, I never, I feel the same with you. I love my, my position and where I'm at now, and I don't see myself doing anything, differently unless, a bigger opportunity happens. But not even with coaching, but just like with, with my job or something of that nature. I get a, a bigger role, like a higher
mhm.
administration role, or like maybe the school board or something different like that. Yes, but as of right now, I'm in a good position. I mean, I love it, being able, to do that. But I mean, they, education needs you, Q. They need us. They need,
They need
kids
us,
need us.
bro.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, like you said earlier, man, it really exposes them the more because a lot of
Mhm.
them don't ever see, black men or black or
Yeah.
people doing more than running the streets or
Yeah.
selling or drinking or
Mhm.
struggling or being on different government assistance. And what I ain't saying
Yeah.
say nothing's wrong with it, but I'm saying if
Yeah.
that's all you aspire to be, there's
Mhm.
more out there for
It's
you.
more out there in
Because
the
some
world. It's more out there in the
yeah,
world.
there's some people that are just struggling right now. That's where they at, and there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with it because we all got to
Yeah.
start somewhere,
Everybody got to start
you
somewhere.
know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like just
And
going back to your, your gap in the game, like you gain at least, at least getting somewhere. Now you got a job, and now you about to get off there or whatever
yeah.
the case may be. But I just want you
Yeah.
to, like, I want these kids to aspire to be more because, like you said, you just don't know what they see, what they
Yeah.
ever
You
been
don't know.
exposed to.
Yeah, you don't
So
know. And yeah, I mean, everybody got a story, man. Everybody is,
mhm,
going through some stuff, and you never know what you can do to help somebody out. What you can say, or what just them being around you, what, can change their mind. So I tell people it's just sometimes it's just like a switch, like a light switch. Like sometimes
mhm,
it just flip for them. You like, wow, like, well, and then you may know years later, like, what you told me, it always stuck with me, it's like, wow, like, you never know. So make sure, you always giving back and, passing this knowledge off to these kids, and
mhm,
being positive, man, and just, being in a great space. That's why, like, and I want to be in a great space for myself,
mhm,
um, I mean, I just love being, positive, and
mhm.
it's just the best way to be, man. Like as a human being, you want to
It
be in a
really
great
is.
space, man. You want to be in a great space.
Right.
So,
And
and
it's
I
the
get the
long
and I
game,
get
like
the
you
energy for
said.
yeah. Mhm.
Oh yeah, you get
I
it
get
from me. Yeah,
I get
yeah.
I
I'm,
get the
I'm
energy
all
from you.
about it,
Like when
bro.
we met, yeah, it's like I mean, like we play, we playing together in open gym. Like I can feel like I'm like like I need that type of energy. Like I'm like you play the right way, you understand, like you encourage. Like I'm like, you don't know how, like, and some people don't understand how far that can go. Like it goes a
Mm-hmm.
long way, man. Like, and people remember how people make you feel. You never forget how somebody make you feel. Like if somebody positive, like, well, you know I go around every morning at my school queue and tell everybody good morning every morning. Like I don't, you never know what somebody going through. Like every morning, good morning. Make sure that are you okay? Like if you're not, I don't know if what I can do, but I'm still gonna
I'm here
ask.
for you
Are you
though.
okay? I'm here for you. If if
Hmm.
you need somebody to talk to for that, you need to get some out. I'm here for you. But I always check like, good morning. Are you okay? So it's the small things, and teachers they appreciate it. Everybody appreciate it. So just make sure like you always speaking and you always talking, man, positive to people, because you never know what you can do to change somebody's life.
Man, it's a simple word sometimes. The
Yeah.
simple smile, the simple just, oh, you look good today, like, or like, you got some
Mhm.
nice shoes. You just never
Yeah.
know. This the simplest thing, bro.
Mhm.
The simplest thing. I've learned that. And one thing I always say to my kid, like the students, is like, if I see them having a bad day, because you pay attention to behaviors, they look
Yeah.
different today than they have been normally.
Mhm.
So you good? They'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I was like, well, I'm here for you if you ever need it. You know that, right? And I tell
Mhm.
all of them that the same as that line. If you ever, I'm here for you. And a lot of them do come
Yeah.
up. Even I'm just a PE teacher, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
sometimes they even come up to me before they come up to a counselor, not like because they are, wrong or different, but because I've built, like you talk about, building that
Yeah.
relationship.
Relationship. Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's the
man. So,
biggest thing. And you speak to everybody the same way, even from the janitor in the building to the president of the
yes,
building. You make sure that
yes.
you keep that same. I talk to everybody. Like me and the maintenance guy. We've been talking about. We talked about the Final Four. I didn't know he was in. I mean, I didn't know he's into sports just as much as me. We start talking about the Final Four. We talk about football. Talk about the NBA
Mhm.
Finals. So it's good. Just talk, man. Just everybody is. Make sure that you don't show no favoritism, or you don't treat anybody no different, no matter what level they at. So that's a really good thing to do.
Yeah, it comes with the understanding that knowing like you ain't better than nobody. You're
Yeah.
not superior to nobody. We all
Yeah.
on an even playing field. You might
Mhm.
have a different gift, or you might have, a different calling, or you just might
Yeah.
have something, a different, talent, or whatever the case might be. We
Yeah.
all on a level playing field, man. We all are servants of the Most High at the end of the day, man. It's all about
Mhm.
Him at the end of the day. So,
Mhm.
man, I definitely feel you on that. So I definitely got to ask though, because of the background in psychology and you're a teacher and all that stuff, how do you implement that in your own home as a
Mhm.
dad and as a parent, like stuff that you understand or learned about behaviors and things that you even learn from the students, and how do you bring that back home?
Mhm. For me, I kind of separate the two Q. I try to leave work at work, and everything at home is genuine. Like I want to make sure that, and it gets hard, because I'm always at work, and I try not to talk about, work at home unless my wife asks me, or my daughter may ask. She's older, but just, I mean, I think I'm a better father than I am uh dean, or educator at the school. I think I'm an even better father because I just put that much more effort into it.
But
I
do you
remember.
think you take some of those like things that you learn in psychology, like those behavioral things, and how to deal with it, and like, do you think you take some of those home? Like, do you use some of those
That's
things
a good.
learned, or you just
I don't think so. That's a great question. I mean, I can't. Maybe I do. It may be natural. It may just come out, because I've been doing it for so long. But
Mhm.
I mean, for me is, thankfully my kids isn't like, isn't that bad, or like, not saying these they, is a different type of, I don't deal with the same stuff that I deal with at work, not, that I deal with at
I
home.
get it.
So
I get it.
it's a little bit, yeah, yeah. I have, sweet girls. My second child, not so much. She a little rough around the edges, but I love her to death. That's my baby. But no, like it just, I mean, yeah, I would say patience. Like patience is the main thing. Being, having patience. Um, and it's people. Another point that I'm thinking of too. Like sometimes, like, cause I work with K6, so I kind of be like burnt out, like from like my patience do run thin by the time I get home, honestly. And
Mhm.
I had to work on that. Like when I get home, like they need their time too. So I need to figure out. I need to find some energy from somewhere or not be so, bothered, when I get home because I had a long day because I be dealing with kids all day. It's hard to, you be dealing with kindergarten to sixth grade all day. Well, I'm K3, so I'm dealing with these kids all day, and then I come home and then I'm dealing with another 9-year-old and a 3-year-old. So it's kind of like I had to I need some time to decompress sometimes too. Like I need to come down from at work so I can give them the time they deserve, you know. But no, I know what I was about to say. I seen a video, like I think on social media, was saying like, or it might have been like a quote or like some like a little it might have been a video, but it's saying like fathers only spend like 10% with their kids. It was like they gave a number out, like a certain amount of time with their kids, more than like moms spend like way more time, even in like married households. Like they don't spend that much time with their kids. Like they always got something to do. So I try to. That's why like once I read that, and you're not saying I wasn't doing it at first, but I even start bringing my kids with me a little bit more. Like I'm not gonna be that statistic. Like I'm gonna bring with me. They're gonna be. I'm gonna spend as much time with me as possible. So that they know that I'm here for them, and I want to watch them grow up and learn from them. And you learn a lot from your kids and what they say, and
Oh
how they
yeah.
act. And like okay, well yeah, they kind of get that from me. That's my side. So you learn a
That's a
lot from
fact.
that. But yeah, but no, like that's basically, yeah. But yeah, I guess I would say out of that question, I would say patience is what I take from my background, and I bring home that I'll probably use them under both umbrellas or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that. I definitely am the one to debunk statistics as well. Like, you're not
Hmm.
about to say that I don't do what I'm supposed to do. You're not about to label me as nothing because I'm a father.
Yeah.
Bro, one thing I vehemently hate, bro, is when I'm with my kids. It's like, oh yeah, you babysitting today? Like, bro, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? This is my
No,
kid.
these
How
my
am I
kids.
babysitting my kid?
No, not
That jump
babysit.
burns
Yeah.
me up. That jump, bro. I
Yeah.
hate it. Men say it, bro. Men say it more than women
Yeah.
say it.
Cause they
That
don't
jump made me
understand.
so mad.
Yeah.
That jump made
Yeah. No, it's not babysit. I'm parenting. Like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like
like, what you
So I
talking about,
definitely get that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely get that. I wouldn't like that neither.
bro? That
No,
jump,
I definitely
especially
get that.
me being, just doing it. When being in a separate household,
Yeah,
co-parenting. So is when I hear there's just me with me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's just me running around. And I go to church like, oh, I love the way. And because before she was my fiance, she was my girl, and they was like, I love the way she dresses them. I was like, I dress
I
these
did.
junk. What are you talking about? Like, she don't live with me. Like,
Yeah,
this
I did
this
that
the
myself.
assumption. I'm like, bro,
Yeah, that's
what?
what that's what they used to, and that's what they expect.
Mhm.
And they assuming sometimes people are fishing for information too, like so.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know how that go. Like they want to see.
Uh-huh.
Some people like to talk. They want to be in your business. Just give
Mm,
them as limited information as possible, man. And you know what you're doing. So always
right.
remember, like it don't matter. Like I tell all the time, people all the time, like just focus on don't let somebody or outsider take you out your character. Not even, I wouldn't say out your character, but make you feel some type of way,
Right.
because like only people that bother me is like my loved one, somebody that's close to me that I care about. If I don't really care about you and we not, on a day-to-day basis, or, or not even, weekly basis, I'm not gonna let you bother me with what you think. So
Right.
just make sure like, watch you control your energy. Like just make sure like nobody control your energy but you, and like usually your close ones that can take you there, but don't let nobody ever take you out, control that energy or get control of you. So but yeah, that's what I think about. People probably just fishing like, yeah, like this is me, like you, but end of the day, in the back of your head, Q, like this is what I'm doing, and like
Right.
that's a game for you. So obviously they look nice if they saying that she's dressing, so you did a great job.
Hey,
That's the
matched
game.
and everything, got the
That's the
good
game from
shoes.
that. That's the game. That's the game from that. That's the
That's a
game.
fact. Cause
Like
I
that's
sure
what
was
you get.
struggling with matching at first.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah. That's the game for
But
you,
but
man,
I mean
for
that's
sure.
the beauty that this podcast has grown into, bro. Like the fact
Yeah,
that we can just come as fathers and chop it up and then
yeah.
show that what we're doing without, without boasting about it. But it's in
Mhm.
our daily conversation. We're showing that hey, we are
No,
here.
for sure,
Like
for sure.
generations before, that a lot of stuff had, with the government and all
Mhm.
that stuff that kind of got fathers out the home. But
Yeah,
now I think we're really coming back in and we're
yeah.
really stepping up because a lot of people have experienced not having their father, and since they experienced, they don't
Mhm.
want their kids to ever have to experience that. So I
Yeah.
think that they are really a lot of us are stepping up, man.
No,
Um,
for sure. Yeah, we doing a great job too, man.
we are,
We're
bro.
doing a
I
great
I
job.
I I
Yeah.
believe I believe more fathers are there than not, and
Mhm.
I think media and all that stuff still try to portray the other way, but I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
Me
believe it.
neither. Yeah. And they need to do a little bit more for us for Father's Day too. So we need to put a good.
Hey, stop stop rushing over it like it ain't
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We need a little bit more. We need a little bit more energy on around
That's
Father's
a
Day too.
fact,
That's all I'm
bro.
saying.
That's a fact. Don't Hey, that's a fact.
For sure, for sure. So
But man, it's been great, man. This is
yes, Q.
episode 98. Hope everybody stay blessed.